What's up, my peoples? It's your boy Zaf. We're back at it again. Another Mastery Monday with the one and only Professorino, Masterino, Zaffarino. And we are going to do some teaching today. So guys, today's subject is going to be on analyzing. How do you analyze? People have asked me before, like, damn Zaf, how are you able to do such things? Man, I wish I was a lot faster at analyzing where I understood like what to look for. Well, guess what, guys? I'm going to teach you guys how to do that for yourself. All right? So today, we're going to break that down. I have my handy-dandy notebook. You guys know how I roll. Hard body karate. Boom. And I already have some nice little text typed up on the screen. We're going to get into that, all right, in a little bit. But today, it's going to be different. The way I want to do Mastery Mondays from now on is I want it to be a little bit more interactive. I want you guys to ask questions, and I'm actually going to answer them as opposed to just going through the script of whatever I wrote out, which I usually was doing. And, I mean, you guys did like it, right? I got a lot of good feedback, but I want you guys to be more involved in it because you never know how you guys can contribute to it in real time, okay? So with that being said, guys, welcome. I appreciate every single one of you that is tuning in right now. If you haven't already, share the links. Let people know. If you have any friends that are wondering how to level up their game, it could be in Street Fighter or another game. It doesn't matter because principles apply anywhere, all right? So the things I teach, you can apply them anywhere. So with that being said, I'm just let some people roll in. Get a little more people flowing in here. A little more crowded, you know. Too much elbow room. I want people to be cramped. Right? So yeah. Let's see. Swagenheimer, what's up, man? I got in before the bell. Good shit. Hopefully teacher won't mark me absent. I love you. Who is this? Indie Animator, what's up, man? You finally got into one. Congrats. It's about time. Alright. Cool beans. So I sent Twitch my new emotes, but I don't think they get approved within a 24-hour period, so might take another day or two before those emotes are usable. So it kind of sucks though, because as an affiliate you only get access to like 3 emotes, so I have to like do it in tiers, which is stupid. I'd rather just have all of them as a tier 1 emote, but whatever, I don't know. But yeah, what's up, Finesse? What's going on, fam? Arm Ollie, what's up? How many new emotes? I only have 2 because I'm only an affiliate. Once I'm a partner, I'm gonna go super duper hardcore with this, but I'm limited right now. You can only have 3, so. But it's okay. We'll get there one day. So how you guys doing today? Fats! Aw, my dude Fats is in here. What's up, pimpin'? Ooh. Who else is in here? Thermite, Zendo, Slow Cool, NetDev, Juju Arc, Elon Musk with like 19 zeros. He must be a cyborg. See all the legend, Commander Root, Chuck Hadouken, Applecrop. What's up? Get comfy, guys. Oh, you at the gym? Damn, you committed like that? Peaches, I thought you weren't going to be here today. Oh, snap! I was not ready for that. Is that what you were talking about? You guys are over here plotting on me, not even telling me. What's up, all 95 of you illustrious viewers that are just bombarding my stream right now? Guys, I'm going to teach you guys today how to analyze your matches. Thank you, Denson, for the assist. He gave me the John Havlicek. He was just like, well, not John, it's John Stockton. John Havlicek was an overrated English teacher that played basketball in the 70s. But the John Stockton, he gave me the behind the back. Boom, you know what I'm saying? I caught it like Malone and I dunked it. So that's what I'm going to do right now. I'm going to dunk it with this godlike lesson on how to analyze. I hope you guys are going to stay tuned, trust me, and you guys will evolve from this stream, goddammit. Okay? I promise you. Oh, shit, Lowinated. What's up? Yo, all these, oh my God. You guys are like tickling my heart right now. The mailman. Oh, that's, I didn't even know you was hip to basketball like that. I respect the fact that you said his nickname, though. You know, some people be like, oh, yeah, Karl Malone, huh? You know, second most points all time. But then it's like, nah, you said the nickname. That means you actually are on your shit. Oh yeah, we're definitely learning. 1000%. So, all right, so I got everything already laid out. So we're gonna talk about analyzing. All right, you guys are coming in here. You guys are getting nice and comfy. You know, get your pillows, get your food. I already ate my food. I'm nice and energetic right now. We're good to go. I got my water. All right, so I ain't a thirsty bitch today. No thirsty bitchness. All right, coming my way. And yeah, I think we're good to go. We're good to roll. All right. So for anybody that's in here for the first time, Fighter Academy, welcome. We love you. We appreciate you. Without you, this wouldn't exist. I would have nobody to teach. So Mondays and Thursdays, we basically do lessons. Monday being Mastery Mondays. It's about like concepts and theories and all sorts of things Street Fighter-esque that people don't really talk about. And then Thursday, we do analysis paralysis. So that's where I take a set and I just analyze it, break it down, real time, boom, boom, boom. All right. But today, what we're going to talk about is learning how to analyze things. All right. Because a lot of people, they do improve, but they don't maximize the rate at which they can improve. All right. The effectiveness of their journey towards, whatever mastery they're trying to accomplish. Because they don't know how to watch their matches. They don't know how to watch other people's matches. Okay. So we're going to talk about the ways to go about watching your own matches and other people's matches. So I have a match of my own from a weekly last week, all right, where I lost. I lost to a jury player named Alex Smith. He's a good friend of mine. Lost to him, and I was very disappointed with how I lost. I was like, damn, like there were certain instances where I swear like I just messed up, and I'm pretty sure this should have worked if I had gone about things the right way. Cool. But I have it in an actual, I have proof and evidence, so when I rewatched it, I was like, oh, whoa, there's a lot of things going on that I didn't even remember happened. That's why you got to analyze your matches. You want to analyze your matches because you're not going to remember everything. You're going to have like this selective memory about certain things. And even so, those things that you remember, you might skew them in some way, right? So it's really good to watch your matches because it's very black and white. This is what you did. There's no other way to put it, right? You press those buttons. There's no theory or speculation about what you did in a match when you have things recorded. Understand? So this is why you want to watch your matches. And we're going to watch mine, and I hate watching my matches, all right? Or I used to, because I used to be really hard on myself, all right? But as with all of the things I talk about, it all starts internally. We talk about improving our inner state first, okay? Because our outer is a reflection of our inner, okay? So when you have a hard time analyzing something, it's not that you have a hard time analyzing. Maybe there's just something inside of you that's preventing you from doing so. Maybe you don't like looking at yourself making mistakes. Maybe you don't know what to focus on, or you're focusing on the wrong things. Or maybe you're just not clear about what you're trying to accomplish, all right? And that's what I'm here for. We're going to sharpen steel. We're going to make it so that all of us elevate and we all grow and become stronger as a result of this lesson today, okay? Which is the goal every lesson. Right. So I appreciate all of you guys. And let's commence. All right. So, when you want to talk about analyzing, all right? Handy dandy notebook. You want to decide what exactly are you going to focus on. Okay. The reason why I say this is, in a match, there are infinite amounts of variables that could affect the outcome, okay? Like, there's so many things that happen in a match on your end and on the opponent's side of things that can influence and dictate what's going on in real time, all right? So whenever you watch something, whenever you analyze, you're obviously trying to come away from it with something, all right? Now, before you go into analyzing something, you want to know exactly how you want to improve. All right, so that's very important. You have to pick something specific to focus on. Otherwise, you watch it and you're kind of scatterbrained and you're just trying to take in all this information and don't really know where to put it. You don't even know which one's significant and what will actually be detrimental towards your growth, and what's just kind of like, you can focus on this, but it's not gonna really do you much service, as opposed to you focusing on some other aspect of the game, your neutral, your corner pressure, whatever, right? So I've typed this out. So we're going to transition to this scene. All right? And so I typed this out so you guys can have like a visual of what I'm talking about. Because there are some visual learners in here. There are some auditory learners in here. There are some kinesthetic learners. Some people that like to actually get hands-on with whatever they do. All right? And wow, my green screen is totally not blocking my room. This is awkward. But it's okay. I don't really give a fuck. So anyways, so you have your general focus and you have a specific focus, all right? So in order, if I were to give you a system, this is what you basically want to do. You want to look at the general aspect of things, right? Like, okay, so before I go into analyzing a match, I want to know what am I going to look for in terms of broadness, all right? Because that way, when you have a somewhat of a direction, you can hone in your focus. You can narrow it in. You can tunnel it, all right? And you can be more accurate with the information you're picking apart. So let's say, generally speaking, whenever you watch something, you're either looking for the strengths of something or the weakness of something, all right? The strengths or the weakness with yourself, right? If I'm watching myself play, what did I do right? What did I do wrong? But you never really want to add evaluation to observation, meaning you don't want to add any meaning of value to the things that you're watching, because what ends up happening is you start to build this intolerance towards certain things that you do, and then now there's friction, right? You have this internal friction, and now you get really upset whenever you accidentally do something. You start to become unreasonably hard on yourself, and you just start to, you make the process of learning not as enjoyable as it could have been, all right? So you want to just see things as they are. I did an anti-air, great. I did an anti-air. I don't say, dog, if I don't anti-air one more time, I'm going to snuff myself in the face. Like, no, like, relax. It's not that deep. You didn't anti-air 5 times, the opponent jumped in 5 times in a row on you. Okay, that's fine and dandy. That's just something you have to work on. But you're going to make it way harder on yourself when you start to, like, be subjective and you're just hard on yourself and saying, oh man, I suck, and damn it, I'm meant to play this game, blah, 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 like all that shit. That's all energy that could be transferred towards more positive things, like you actually training, you actually putting effort into growing, all right? So there's no reason for you to be doing that. It defeats the purpose of playing the game because you love the game, all right? So when you're going into something, you want to focus on either the strength or the weakness of something, all right? Strength being, where was the damage that I delivered? Like, did I deliver the most damage through my fireballs, through my pokes, through my anti-airs maybe, through my pressure? How did, like my corner game, my Oki, right? That's what you want to focus on when it comes to strengths. And then when you have that, you have like a kind of like a 1B. The next thing to focus on within the strength is what led up to that situation, all right? And the reason why I stress focusing on your strengths is because I'm telling you guys this now so that you guys don't make the same mistake I've made. I've been playing Street Fighter since 2010, all right? That's 9 years now. I don't want you guys to make the same mistake I've made. And I could have been a lot further ahead. I could have been an Evo champion by now had I just, not been hard on myself. Number one, that's number one, you know what I'm saying? Definitely. And if I was just more honest about things, okay? So one of the things I ignored was focusing on my strengths. So I never really cultivated consistency because I kept focusing on my weaknesses so much, which is kind of a thing that came from my childhood. And, that's, of course, conditioning and stuff. But you don't always want to focus entirely on one over the other. There has to be some cohesion between the two. You want to focus on your strength and your weakness where, whenever either or kind of favors the other. All right? So if you focus on your strength, you can cultivate consistency because you know how to win. You know, what is it that you do that allows you to win, right? Okay. And then when you focus on your weaknesses, which is going to be where did you take damage and what led up to those situations that, caused you to take damage. That's going to help you refine your game, and that way you can minimize your mistakes, which will also play into your strengths, right? Because then you'll learn how to play more into your strengths and eliminate those things that contradict whatever you're trying to accomplish, all right? So it's very important. That stuff is very important. So you guys understand so far? I just want you guys to, let me know. I don't want to just blow through things. Admiral, thank you for tuning in. Fighting games are great. You're great. Fighting games are great. Great are games fighting. Oh, Mokhtar, I just seen that you were in there. Thank you for tuning in, guys. So you guys are feeling all right? You guys are okay? Matty Ice, what's up, fam? How you doing, man? I just want to make sure everybody's okay. Cookie Magoo. That's a pretty godlike name. I don't know, I just love that name. That's funny. All right. Cool. So, let's continue. All right. So, you have this, let's say we're going to watch, I'm going to watch myself, right? So, we're going to start off with my own match, because you can obviously observe your match or you're watching somebody else's match. That's basically what's going to happen when you're analyzing a match, right? I'm either watching my match or watching your match or his match or their match, whatever, right? So that's what happens. So when you go into it, let's say for me, right, I want to focus on a strength of mine. Let's focus on the strength of mine, right? I want to see, like, where did I deliver the most damage, all right? Because sometimes you might not have the specifics to focus on, but you can start from your strength and just pay attention to the situations as they unfold in a match, and then you start to reveal things. Oh, I'm giving him a lot of a lot of damage off of my corner pressure, or off of punishes because I'm punishing him a lot. And then maybe that's something you start to focus on, all right? Maybe you want to focus on that, and then you can turn that into a consistent aspect of a matchup or whatever, okay? Let's say for a weakness, though. If I'm losing and I don't know exactly how, I would say, all right, well, how am I losing? Where was I taking the most damage? And what was leading up to that situation of taking damage, right? And you're going to see me do this against the jury. I'm going to show you a small little clip where there was one situation, and it was after V-reversal, that I just kept getting hit. And I was like, mindfucked. Like, why am I getting hit with? Like, I don't know what's going on right now. I keep getting hit, and I'm not frame trapping off of this fireball trap, this meaty fireball correctly. And I just kept getting in. I was like, I don't understand. Okay, so I'm going to show you guys how I went about developing an answer in real time from watching my own set, okay? So I lost to this jury player, and I'm like, okay, so I'm going to have to focus on weakness because I don't understand how I lost. So where was I taking damage? Well, a lot of the time I was taking damage off of my own situations, my own Oki, So I was like, okay, so that means I have to strengthen my understanding of Oki here. So you see how that works? So if you're losing in a certain department, a specific aspect of your game, you just go and watch that, and then boom. All right, so then I can go watch the entire set, and I say, well, if I was taking a lot of damage after my knockdown, maybe I should watch the whole set with my focus primarily on knockdown to see if I was consistently effective on that phase or that aspect of my Street Fighter play. And then from there, you figure out, oh, well, I guess I was or I wasn't, right? Cool. So let's go into it. So we're going to watch this. All right. And I'm going to back it up a little bit, all right? All right. So I have a pretty good life lead. All right, let me go back a little bit more. Where is it now? Okay, we'll start right here. Cool, right? All right, so I have a life lead. I have a really good life lead. So then it's like, well, how the hell did I lose this round? If I lost this round. All right, so let's see. All right, so my movement is really erratic right now. But I'm not focusing on that. Let's just see what happens to my health. Okay, I got knocked down. Oh. Okay. So that V reversal. All right, knocked him down again. All right, this time I didn't throw a fireball. But the last time I did, I got knocked down. And again, I got hit. The same situation. That's frustrating. All right, so I see that I'm taking damage off of a V-reversal knockdown. But you want to be specific, right? So that way you can go into training mode with that exact scenario and improve on it. Turn that into a strength, okay? So we're learning to turn this weakness into a strength in this matchup where I was getting decimated by this, right? So now let me grab this handy-dandy arcade stick, and we're going to figure out what the hell happened, all right? So I go into training mode and I take that exact scenario, all right? And I already recorded it. Everything's already set. So the way you'd want to record it, if you guys don't know, is it was Jury was doing reversal EX pinwheel, or the flip, whatever it's called, right? And she was doing it after I was doing V reversal, okay? So after the V reversal, I'm trying to do a meaty fireball, and I was getting hit for whatever reason. So I want to find out, wait, is that real? Okay, so generally whenever I start a knockdown with a fireball frame trap, I want to see if the normal quick rise can get punished. Because if that can't get punished, then the back roll can never get punished, all right? So we're going to knock her down. All right, I already have her set to do a reversal fierce button, so that way I can V reversal her fierce button, right? So we'll try it right now. All right, so you see how she just did her stand fierce, right? And I'm gonna V reversal. Let's see what she does. Okay, that should have been turned on, but let's try that again. Oh, it's probably because the PS4 went on to sleep mode. Oh, I have to. Okay, I have to fix that. All right, she's gonna do her flip. All right, cool. So you see reversal flip. Okay, cool. So it seems like he was reacting to it, but he wasn't reacting to it. He was doing it on reversal timing. All right, like he was seeing it during his knockdown and just doing it. So like he was reacting to it, but it doesn't matter if he reacted to it. It still wasn't. It's not gonna work. So I'm gonna show you guys why. All right, so and I still blocked. All right, so that right there tells you that situation where I was getting hit can now be turned into a potential strength, because something that I was messing up on, which was my fireball trap, I can block. So now I'm like, huh, all right. So then you start to try to test the window and see, well, how much can I get away with here? All right, so I can DP that. All right, can I do medium DP? Oh, I can medium DP that. Okay, that's interesting. So the thing was that he was doing back roll though. He was doing back roll into the flip. So back roll is an additional 5 frames, right? So it's an additional 5 frames. She's moving backwards and my fireball's hitting later, so I have even more advantage. So I'll show you guys, right? If when I throw this, let's pay attention to how much advantage I have. I'm minus 21, right? Okay. So if she does like wake up super or something like that, she'd probably hit me. But that flip is way too slow. Okay. Now if she back rolls, I'm minus 16. Okay, and she's further away, so it's even less likely that she's gonna hit me because of the distance. All right. So let's go to. We'll make it back recovery. All right. And I'm going to show you guys the option select I developed for this exact scenario, because I was like, I never want to lose in this scenario again. So word of advice from Professor Reno is, if you can at any given moment use an option select, use it, because that means you are allocating mental resources to other things. I don't even have to think about this because of the stuff I'm about to show you guys. All right. So I get knocked down, I do fireball. All right. Cool beans. Now I'm going to show you guys a nice little option select. So you guys know that if you do a special, right, you can do quarter circle forward and punch, or whatever the button is, right? And you get the special, right? So you guys clearly see I'm doing down, down, forward, forward, punch, and I'm getting fireball. All right. But there's also another way to do specials, and that's to negative edge. So you see there are no buttons on the screen, right? But I'm holding down my light punch. So watch this. But I still got fireball. Interessante. Okay. So what does this mean, Zaf, you big-nosed hoe? Well, guys, that's very rude. So this is actually what it means. So if I have a fireball on the screen, I obviously can't throw 2, right? See, that's why the overhead came up. Correct? All right. So now I'm going to do this other example. I'm going to throw another one just to show you guys. I can't throw a fireball, right? You guys see I'm throwing fireball, and I'm throwing another one. Nothing comes out. All right? So you have to wait until that second fireball clashes, or it dissipates off, or just goes off the screen. Some characters have fireballs that dissipate like Akuma, right? And when he's outside of V-Trigger. Other characters like Sagat, they have those fireballs that will continuously go until they're off the screen or make contact with the opponent. So this is something to be mindful of when you have a fireball war going on. So if I throw a fireball, I have to wait until that second fireball hits my opponent, or else buttons are gonna come out, right? Right? So I have to wait until that collision happens. So now, you combine this with the negative edge, and what ends up happening is, if I throw this fireball, I can do that. But you see in my inputs, I only pressed a punch once, right? It's because when I did quarter circle forward punch, I never let go of the button. Alright, so I still have the button held, as you guys can see. And now I'm going to do quarter circle forward again. And I released. The button came out. But when there's another fireball on the screen, fireball can't come out. Right? So if I knock Juri down, right? Let's do this again. Ah, it's so hard to do this with gloves on. You see how the punch came out? You didn't see two fireballs. You saw the punch come out because the other fireball that she went over, it never made contact with her. So I had to leave the screen, right? So those are the two rules of the fireball game. It's either it has to dissipate and leave or leave the screen, or it has to make contact. That's the only way. You can't have two fireballs on the screen at the same time. So when you negative edge it and she does an invincible move, that means she's not making contact with the fireball, and the fireball is traveling behind her. It's still on the screen. So if we apply the negative edge rule, what does that mean? That means this. If I do this and I negative edge, you see I never pressed anything. I just released it and I did back. Alright, does this make sense to you guys so far? So I do this, I do it again, and you can see from my inputs that I did down, down, forward, forward, but you don't see the release obviously, but you see how I was still able to block it? Okay. Now again, I'm gonna show you it again, but if I press the button, this is what would happen. I would jab. Alright, so that's an option select too. So if I don't even want to think about that, I can do that also. Alright. I can do that also. I can do, I can do that also. Alright. Now, what I want to show you guys is in OS, I do with Super. Alright. So, when I negative edge and she blocks, if she just blocks, then this will come out. Oops. Alright, so she blocked that. Alright, so you see how that happened? But you don't see the second fierce punch being registered, because again, I'm negative edging it, alright? So I want to show you guys something. Now you see that there are technically two quarter circle forwards on the screen by the time that my second fireball is supposed to come out, right? Now I want you guys to see this. So she's not doing anything, right? Again. Right? Okay. But now, when you want to try your option selects, you want to have the opponent blocking on wake up, and you want them to also have them do that invincible attack, alright? So I have her doing the invincible attack also. So I go like this. Right? Oh, thank you, Juri Pie. I don't even know what the hell it said, but thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. But you see how, because she blocks it, my second fireball comes out? Now, I want to show you guys this where the super comes into play. So I'm already doing a second quarter circle forward, so all I have to do is kick. Because if the first fireball is blocked, I'll be in the animation of the second tiger shot, so I can't go into super, obviously, right? So look, I'm gonna do fireball and do super, nothing happens. Nothing comes out, alright? Unless I'm in a cancel range, but I'm not in a cancel range. Obviously, I'm all the way over here. I have to recover for that to come out. So when I knock her down, I can do this. Oops. See? So I'm gonna keep doing it. And it only comes out when she does that. Oops. Ah, fuck. Ah, this is so hard to do with gloves on. There you go. Okay, so boom, negative edge. Alright, super. Ah, fucking it up. There you go, that was perfect. There you go. Boom. So you see how it didn't come out right there? That's basically because of the option select. So I took that situation of the V reversal, just I'm constantly messing it up, and then I basically evolved my approach and graduated to this OS to where now I don't have to really think about it. Alright? So now I'm just doing that automatically and I don't have to think about it at all. Okay? So I took that situation and I realized what to do because I identified that that was a situation I was taking a lot of damage in. And it's a good situation to that, so that doesn't make sense. In those situations where I should be expressing my strength, I'm making mistakes, so I have to get a lot better at that, right? So that's what I decided to do. So I came up with this OS, and it's really good. It's really strong, and there are probably other matchups that you can use it against, like a Cammy or something like that. But yeah. So that's just something I wanted to share with you guys with that, okay? So does this make sense so far, you guys? As far as looking at the, you know, the strength or the weakness of whatever footage you're about to dissect, and then just specifying what inside of that weakness or strength that you're trying to improve on, or capitalize on, or leverage, or whatever. What's up, Chris? I gotta fix my sub badge. I don't know why it's so small. Yeah, so like I think like this is like a side note, but I think Sagat, like his zoning will be taken to the next level once I master, because obviously I haven't, right? This is just as this footage is from last Friday, so it's like I'm only a couple days into trying this out. But once I master like negative edge fireballs, then it'll seem like there are no holes in my fireball game, and that's where I want to get to, because then I don't have to really think about those areas of the matchup. Because once my opponent blocks a fireball, then it's like, bam, that's now a new strength at my disposal and a new form of consistency that I've created. And now you can focus on the other weaknesses or your other strengths that you can cultivate, make those stronger, okay? So now let's go to, we are going to watch. This is how you watch other people's matches and learn what you want to learn. All right, so I'm going to show you another example, but this time I'm going to do it with Bonchan. All right, so me personally, I haven't played the Bison Sagat matchup in a while, but before I picked up Bison, I had always struggled with Sagat versus Bison. Okay, so I was like, you know what? I'm going to watch this match of Bonchan playing against a Bison. Okay, and the beauty of it is that he actually, I went into it like, well, what is one of the things I struggle with Sagat? And it was Stomp. I was like, I don't really know what to do about the whole Stomp and Devil Reverse mind game with Sagat. Like, what is a consistent method for me to deal with that? All right? So that was my focus, was like, that's the weakness. I was taking a lot of damage on that, right? And that was an aspect of Bison Sagat that I had to focus on. So that was a punish thing that I needed to learn, okay? A matchup-specific punish thing, right? So we're gonna watch this match, and I just wanted to understand, like, how does he punish typical Bison behavior? All right. So let's just watch it, and I'll watch it alongside you guys. All right. If you want to watch things and you don't have like the speed to dissect things like really fast, you can put your speed to 0.75, and it helps drastically because it'll still be like, it won't be too slow to where it's like boring as hell, but you'll still be able to make out things. All right. So I'm watching this and I'm like, all right. So Bonchan he's trying to maintain that like max distance step kick range, or like just a little bit outside of medium kick tiger knee range, right? Okay, so that backdash was to trigger his jump in. So how do I know that? Well, typically when skilled players make really big moves like this against rush down, like against characters that have to make big moves. So if they do let's say like a Bonchan or a Daigo or a Xian or a Fujimura, when they do big moves like this, it's to see like how are you going to respond when you see things like this, because they might have to rely on those big moves to activate V-trigger or in the end game, you know what I'm saying? So when you see this, where is it? So he backdashes and he throws the high tiger shot, which is a lot safer than throwing the low, because had he thrown the low, it has more recovery, an extra 4 frames, so he would have got sniped by that EX stomp. All right, so he dashes to see how does he trigger, or what does he trigger through big moves. We've talked about big moves before. I have lessons on that on YouTube. If you guys haven't checked that out, that's on there. All right, so we continue watching. All right, so how does Bonchan deal with the pressure in the corner? All right, wow. So he stands up. That's very subtle. Like, these are typical Bison strings, right? And the fact that he stood up randomly, right? Like, at the end of the string, just shows me that he must know something about this matchup. So maybe standing defensively is something that would help me a lot against Bison when they try to do max distance pokes like this. Because, you know, they have to commit. They can't really walk in and out of range because their walk speed's so slow. So they use buttons to push themselves into certain ranges, right? So the fact that he was so ready to whiff punish that just shows me the intention behind his defensive decisions. All right. So now it looks like he's using block stun to try to trigger behaviors. All right. So that backdash gives him the block stun so that he can go into his V-trigger. All right. So that was very subtle. I see that as I'm watching this, I'm just focusing on what is he doing, particularly neutral. But like before I watched this, I was like, okay, well, what does he do to deal with Stomp, right? So obviously you see he hasn't done it yet. But for the sake of the conversation, we're just going to watch it as we're watching it. So within each moment, you can kind of like just pick a focus if you're not seeing what you want to look for. So I'm like, all right, so what is he doing at this particular range? What does he do after block stun? You know, and then I just try to learn as much as possible from it. So what did he do about this situation? Did you see how subtle that is? That's a situation that you'll find yourself in a lot against Bisons when they do the EX blast in neutral, right? So that's how you can take away from this match. I observe, what does Bonchan do that maybe I'm not considering as an option? So we'll watch it again, and I want you guys to pay attention to what he did as soon as he sees it. He walked up and blocked it. Why did he do that? So he walks up and blocks it, so that way he can just slightly change the potential frame advantage that Bison would have. Because had he blocked it at the original position that he was at, Bison would have been at more advantage. All right, but he blocked it. He walked up and blocked it just enough just to take off a couple of frames. Maybe just enough to throw off the Bison. That's a way that you can punish Bisons, is that when they get really comfortable with doing certain strings, you walk up and you end up blocking them earlier than they anticipate. Balrog is another example of that. Balrogs that love spacing their dash punches. You walk up early enough and then you block their dash punch, and they weren't anticipating you to do that. They thought you were going to be here, but all of a sudden, at the very last second, you moved up to close the gap, and now they're deeper with their dash punch, and now you have more of a chance to punish them, right? More opportunity. Okay, so he still hasn't done anything about this stomp. So it's like, all right, this is the first round. Maybe it's just, you know, the first round feels he's just watching to see what he's doing. Alright. Good adjustment. So now I know on V-trigger, you know, in the corner, that doesn't cross up. The V-trigger stomp. Alright? So it's like Nash when Nash does the crouching fierce into V-trigger. He stays on the same side. And now we got the V-skill behind that. Ah, okay, that's another way he deals with EX Psycho Blast. So see, now you're learning multiple options of dealing with it at multiple ranges. Trunks Supreme, thank you for the follow, sir. I appreciate it. So you see how he fireballed. He fireballed it at that range, so he obviously didn't walk up and block it, right? Because that's way too much advantage for him to do that. Because the further you are when you block a fireball, the further you are when a fireball is thrown, the more advantage the opponent is that has thrown it until it's nullified, okay? So since he's so far, that means there's basically 2 characters on the screen once he throws that. So now he's just like, alright, I have to deal with this. Alright? So he throws 1 fireball, and a very common thing when an opponent sees that their fireball was negated, the only 1 hit of it was, they dash behind it to take the space. They just want to occupy the space, right? Seize the space, take the real estate. But Bonchan is a very seasoned zoning player. So he knows that one of the fundamental ways to negate this situation is to throw an EX. So that way, the opponent's not expecting, you know, an EX, right? They're expecting their fireball to nullify a fireball, not for their fireball to be negated and then you're at advantage. But that's why he throws the second one. Alright? Very subtle. Nice. It's good DP. Okay. So then I can see, alright, so right there he just waited. He was willing to block that. Okay, so I still haven't seen how he dealt with stomps like in a consistent method. But let's keep watching. Oh! What on God's green earth was that? Holy smokes. Okay, let's watch that again. Oh! What? Nani? What the hell was this? See, now this is that lab stuff. You know Bonchan, he definitely... Look at this. Wow. So let's figure out how the hell did he do this? Like what gave him the incentive, the idea to do that? All right, so let's see. So now we're gonna bring this up, and we're gonna bring up Sagat. So it's really good to dive into situations as deeply as possible when you want to figure out how did something work. So see, I'm trying to figure out, like, I don't want to just see it and say, oh, Bonchan did it. Maybe that's what I got to do. No, I know how I learn, and I know that it's really important to understand that, like, how I absorb information is I need to be more hands-on, right? So I say, all right, well, let's look at stand heavy kick. All right, and then let's take Bison. And now we're going to look at Skull Diver. Ah, okay. So that's still, like, that makes sense. I mean, if you look at the interaction with stand heavy kick is still going to dominate this button. Because look at this, like, this is like all hitbox, and this is so high up that by the time it would even touch the guy, you've already got, like, you've already taken so much damage. And it didn't counter hit either, because if it counter hit, it would have crush countered, right? But it didn't counter hit at all. So obviously he avoided the hurt box. All right. So that's another subtle thing. Like, this interaction happening is important because it didn't crush counter. So you know there was some sort of hitbox interaction that occurred, which alludes to why it's so important to study these things, because now you can form a consistent means of countering this tactic with Sagat. So I don't even have to commit to a DP. So now I've strengthened some aspect of my neutral, some anti-air aspect with this option. All right. Akuma Dan, thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. All right, so let's see. All right, so get off of me move. All right. Ah, nice. So that stand heavy kick, he still had enough time to recover. That's very crazy. So I wonder if Bonchan knew that he could cover both options potentially. Because with Cammy, what she used to be able to do was that she could back medium punch twice. against Bison. So if he did stomp, her back medium punch would just hit him. And then if he went into Devil Reverse, her back medium punch would just, she would just recover in time to do it again. So she would just go, huh, huh. And it was just really easy to do it. Now, I don't play Cammy anymore. Oh, the website that I'm using, I will link it to you guys right now. It's SFV Sim. I'll put it in the chat. Oh, okay, so that's like a nice defensive situation. Which makes sense, because think about it, like, when you jump away from a Bison, and they're dashing in, they're committed to whatever offense they were about to do. They're not expecting you to jump the first time you do it. Like, if you show them it, then, you know, like a Problem X, or maybe a Dogura, or a Hot Dog, they'll probably be like, alright, next time I'm going to just set this up on purpose, and I'm going to hell attack you. But you see on his first time, when he dashed up, he wasn't anticipating that at all. So he does the crouching short right here. Nice. So he did delay jab. So I see that this is how he's handling V-trigger. If you want to learn how to handle a V-trigger, you know, pay attention to how a top player moves when it's activated. Like, so he's doing the delay jab. You see him jumping a lot. He'll jump back a lot defensively to try to throw off Bison. He just doesn't want to stay stationary, because if you stay stationary, it's a lot easier for Bison to get started. Alright, so let's see. Now I want to watch his zoning. How does he use Fireball? Alright, so he did a high Tiger Shot. Okay, so why do a high Tiger Shot? See, so that stand heavy kick is consistent. Look at that. Damage is in his favor also. Ah, see, so he moved. See, now this is a consistent theme. You see that whenever you're watching somebody and you see them resorting to the same thing multiple times in a round, then there's probably some significance behind the decision. You see how after the Fireball he's backdashing, he probably is trying to avoid some sort of lunging attack. Maybe Scissor Kick, or maybe he's trying to avoid like a Psycho Wax, a reversal Psycho Wax, or something like that. Oh, nice. Delay stand heavy kick to catch the delay tech. Alright, so he's not doing it against the V-trigger stomps. He's just settling for blocking it. See, so Bonchan, he definitely is trying to maintain this spacing until he gets a knockdown. Because you see a lot of times he just walks back to that start of the round, zone 3 spacing. Because it makes sense. It gives him the most options in terms of anticipating. He can react to the dash. He can anti-air a jump in if he's prepared for it. See, that's like the third time that's worked. And now he's resetting his spacing. Oh, see, that was really good. Like we talked about with the EX Blast, you've seen how the Bison, previously when he did EX Blast, he dashed behind it, or he slid behind it. He did some sort of movement afterwards. You see Bonchan, he just jumped immediately after this, and he catches him he catches him committing to the dash, because that's a very autopilot thing. Is a Bison will V skill and throw, and then they'll just dash behind it. It's kind of like G kind of does that a lot too with his V skill orb. So like, if he does it like full screen or something, or his V-trigger orb or whatever, and then you can just anticipate the dash follow-up, and you can just jump at a timing where you go over the orb, but you jump into his dash. So that was a very interesting decision. After the V-trigger cancel, he neutral jumped. And the reason is because every single time leading up to that, Bonchan didn't do anything. He just blocked. He just sat there. Because at the range that he's blocking the sweep, he's not in throw range, so he knows that Bison has to somehow start pressure, right? So how does he start his pressure? Usually it's going to be stand roundhouse, or it's going to be an axe kick, or a psycho axe, right? So the neutral jump would counter the psycho axe. I don't think it would counter the roundhouse, but it would definitely catch the psycho axe. So that's why he jumped right there. Nice. So he used his movement to trigger that dash. He did nothing, and he triggers the dash, and he looks for it and punishes it. So you can see a lot of intention behind what Bonchan is doing with Sagat. It's very fast, but there's like a reason behind it, and the reason is to try to pull the strings like a puppeteer on the Bison player. He's trying to figure out like what exactly do I have to do. And this is just a Bison. This is a Sagat round when he gets in. It's a lot of good stuff. Like I really like that neutral jump roundhouse into the Tiger Knee because he knows he's not going to convert, but when people block a jumping like that, they're usually going to sit still or a contest, which means you sit still too, right? But he has enough advantage, so he knows like if I Tiger Knee, I'm going to hit you. And this is a really good setup. I never seen that before. Sagat things. Wasn't even max damage, but he knew it would kill. So yeah. So, guys, what do you guys think so far? Are there any questions? I feel like you guys haven't been asking me any questions. I'm here for you. Don't be afraid. What's up, Solo? Wait, is that Mono? Is G-Man PR Mono? Because, I mean, PR is Puerto Rico, and he's talking about Bison. And he sent me a heart. Nah, then again, I think Mono would know the name of Bison's moves, right? Roundhouse means, so basically, if you go back to the old Street Fighter days when they were on the arcade cabinets, they had, like, names next to each button that you could read. So, for the 6 buttons from left to right, you have your lights, you have your mediums, and you have your heavies, right? So, what they named them at the time were your punches were, in order from light to medium to heavy, it was jab, strong, and fierce. And then the kick versions were short, forward, and roundhouse. So roundhouse is basically heavy kick. So it's just like a translation thing. It's just like a Bonix, I guess. I don't know, but yeah.